Here are 99% of the people on Earth. A forbidden area that you may not be able to step out of for a lifetime. Antarctic continent. The ice wall of the eye. It is a natural barrier into the Antarctic continent. It is hundreds of meters high, stretching for thousands of kilometers. At a glance, like the end of the Earth. Very shocking. Then behind this sidewall, what kind of world is it? The Antarctic Treaty signed by high-level officials is overestimated. Why should the general public enter first? Here, what is the hidden secret? This video, the black soil is here. Leaders, take a deeper look. The most mysterious continent on Earth, Antarctica. In many impressions, the North and South Poles seem to have long been a household name. But you know what? Antarctic continent. In fact, it was first discovered by humans in 1820. This year we are in the Jiaqing period of the Qing dynasty. Only 205 years have passed since today. That is to say, before 1820, humans are unaware of the existence of the Antarctic continent. Although early years, some navigators in Europe once tried to find this southern continent. But every time I approach the Antarctic Circle, the surrounding water will become choppy. Wind and waves. An accident. The ship will be overturned by the fierce waves. Even if you are lucky enough to get through this wave, it won't be long. You will encounter an endless ambush. Make it difficult for the ship to move. In the age when icebreakers were not born, it's basically impossible to get through these volts of ice. And there is a huge ice wall at the end of the ice. These three natural barriers is to let the Antarctic continent for so many years. One of the root causes that has never been discovered until modern times. With the rise of various high-tech means, humans have only gradually discovered that at the southernmost tip of the Earth, there's a supercontinent. This is the last continent discovered by humans. Yeah, the only land without permanent human habitation. The total area of the Antarctic continent reaches 14 million square kilometers, almost equivalent to 37 Japanese, or the sum of the entire area of Europe. This continent is covered in ice all year round. The ice never melts. At least 5 million years ago. Average thickness, it has reached a staggering 2,000 meters. The total volume of the ice sheet is approximately 24.5 million cubic meters, 70% of the world's fresh water. If all this ice melted into the ocean, it will cause the sea level to rise by 60 meters. This means that some coastal cities will be submerged by sea water. The ice flows in front of you is affected by global warming. Icebergs detached from continental ice shelves. From the surface, he's not as big as he thought. But go into the water, you will realize what the real tip of the iceberg is. Hidden icebergs underwater, like a terrifying reef. Once you hit a ship, the consequences will be very serious. The world-famous Titanic. It's because of hitting this floating iceberg. It's good to be silent. Over this ice wall, after entering the interior of the Antarctic continent, you will understand why is this place called the Ban of Mankind, due to its high altitude and thin air. In addition to the snow-white ice and snow, the ground has a higher reflectivity. Therefore, it is difficult to absorb the heat of sunlight. Directly causes the temperature to be very low. The lowest temperature in Antarctica can be as low as -0, 94.2 degrees at this extreme low temperature. Don't say human. Even ordinary iron blocks will also be frozen as brittle as glass. Except for the severe cold, there's also a killing storm. Affected by the plateau geocentric and polar high-pressure belts. In the inland regions of Antarctica, it is accompanied by levels 12 and above. Storm. We have winds up to 100 meters per second. That's 3 times the speed of a Category 12 typhoon. Extremely destructive. If you are in this environment, no matter how thick the clothes are, high winds can quickly remove heat from your body. This can lead to the risk of frostbite or even freezing to death. October 10th, 1960. A Japanese living at an Antarctic research station just went out to feed the dog. Suddenly encountered a beautiful woman 35 meters of wind. The whole person was taken away by the wind in an instant and took his life. All over the world, there is no place like the South, such an ordinary storm. Therefore, Antarctica is also called the wind pole of the Earth. You may find it hard to believe. The Antarctic continent is protected by ice and snow everywhere. It's actually one of the driest places on Earth. The air here is dry. It's worse than the Sahara Desert. The annual average of the Sahara Desert, the precipitation is about 76 millimeters. In Antarctica, the annual precipitation in inland areas is only 30 millimeters, and only 30 millimeters of precipitation. It will also be condensed to the ground by the cold temperature. It makes it impossible to carry moisture in the air. Becomes extremely dry. So the interior of Antarctica, it's like the Sahara Desert. It's a white desert. The environment is very harsh. Of course, the hostile environment aside, the natural landscape of Antarctica is still very stunning. Here, like the North Pole, it has polar wrinkles and polar nights. From April to October every year, it is the polar night in Antarctica. You're just around the Antarctic Circle. You can see the same green aurora as the North Pole. So the northern lights are not exclusive to the Arctic. There are also auroras in Antarctica. After November, there will be the extreme curse of Antarctica. Extreme curse I will continue until March next year. During this period, the sun never sets in Antarctica. He would circle around. 24 hours a day is daylight. If you are brave enough to go deep, it may also be encountered inland. The miraculous milky sky phenomenon. When this organ appears, you are as if it's like being in a white dream world. The sky is the same color as the ground. I can't tell the difference between reality and dreams for a while. Amazing. However, behind the beautiful scenery lies a very mortal danger. When the milky white sky phenomenon occurs, it can cause dizziness and hallucinations. In severe cases, you will faint on the ground, then frozen forever. However, the Antarctic continent, which now looks desolate, hundreds of millions of years ago, it was also a warm and humid place, a world of lush vegetation. This is through the geology of the Antarctic continent. After exploration, discover there's huge deposits of coal under Antarctica. These coal seams mainly formed in Paleozoic period about 250 million years ago. Antarctic forests are dense at this time, lush vegetation, and it was populated by plants and animals, the ancestors of all mammals on Earth. Water dragons once lived on this continent. This is a reptile about a meter long. It's about the size of a dog, although not big, but he has been crowned the throne of the overlord of the Earth. Draco is a burrowing animal. Most of his time is digging in the hole. Just as he was digging hard, the Earth suddenly, it was a mass extinction. This disaster, it wiped out 95% of life on Earth. The water dragon miraculously survived. After leaving the cave, he suddenly discovered that the Earth, all the big animals died. Instead, it became the largest creature on Earth. From then on, he has been leisurely on Earth. It has been over 1 million years without period of natural enemies, except for the aquatic animals. Humans have also discovered a lot in Antarctica. Dinosaurs and all kinds of ancient life. The fossil species is very rich. So what is the reason? Caused this continent to become what it is today? And the answer is continental drift. 500 million years ago, the Antarctic continent was once associated with Africa. South America is connected to India and Australia, forming a supercontinent called Gondwana. After 300 million years, Antarctica splits off Gondwana. Start drifting south. After reaching the South Pole, and things started to change dramatically. As the climate gets colder, the animals that live on this land, plants are going extinct, eventually turned into a lifeless place of extreme cold. The current Antarctic continent, the continent with the fewest biological resources. There's very little sign of life in the interior. The only animal that lives in the interior, it's Antarctic cute. Antarctic, it's a tiny mosquito that's 6 millimeters long. This mosquito can't fly, can tolerate extreme temperatures in the hinterland. It makes a special molecule in its body. It acts like an antifreeze. You can protect your blood from freezing into ice and adapt to the extreme climate here. This little insect is inconspicuous, but it exists in the interior of Antarctica, the largest animal. Except for the Antarctic Alliance inland surface, hardly any signs of life were found. But near Vostok Station in Russia, scientists have discovered an underground lake. He was covered in ice up to 4 kilometers thick, from frozen until now, isolated for at least 15 million years. Influenced by the warmth of the center of the Earth, the bottom of the lake is not frozen. It's the same as it was tens of thousands of years ago. After looking at, it was found that the water at the bottom of the lake contained high levels of oxygen, a full 50 times higher than the average lake. In this high oxygen environment, likely to give birth to body shape, huge, unknown creature. But to avoid contaminating the pristine ecosystem of the fox, they didn't drill further down. What kind of creature does the fox live on so far? Still an unsolved mystery. Although there are not many inland creatures, but the waters around mainland Nanjing, it was populated by giant creatures. This phenomenon is known as the collective giant certificate in the polar regions due to the low water temperature. Therefore, the dissolved oxygen concentration will increase. In a high oxygen environment, some people get bigger. Take Nanjing, the largest city on Earth. Nanjing lives in this sea area. Explain here. Blue whales are actually divided into 4 subspecies. The largest of these are found in the South Pole. Southern blue whale in the sea. It's the largest living animal on Earth. None of them. This interceptor can reach a body length of 33 meters. It can weigh up to 190 tons, but one tongue is big enough for 50 people. Stand on it at the same time. His arteries are like pipes, can keep the baby in it. Even newborn blue whale calves. It weighs more than an adult African elephant. Anyway, all about the blue whale is one word. It's a big deal. He needs to eat 8 tons of food in one day. It consumes 2,920 tons of food in 1 year. This is for any boss who loves fish farming. It's a huge expense. So the blue whale? How did you solve your own food and clothing problem? That's 8 tons of food a day. Where do you get it from? And the answer is squamish shrimp. Scaly shrimp is a glowing shrimp. It's about 6 centimeters long. There are many spherical light emitters in the body. Under the dark sea, can emit a flash of inspiration. It is because of this luminous property. That's why they call them squamish shrimp. This creature is widely distributed in Antarctic waters. It's a social creature, and it's incredibly abundant. According to incomplete statistics, the global population could reach 1 billion tons. They are extremely fertile. A forest shrimp can lay tens of thousands of eggs at one time and can lay eggs multiple times a year. Lifespan can reach 5 to 6 years. Efficient reproduction rate, plus a long life cycle. It makes the forest shrimp population extremely large. And the giant blue whale. I rely on these forest shrimp every day. Main food sources, except for blue whales. Others who live with them in these waters. Whale, penguin, seal, and food sources for various aquatic animals. They are mainly forest shrimp. Forest shrimp alone feeds almost the entire Antarctic waters. We were just talking about that. There is a phenomenon of polar gigantism in Antarctic waters. The horror here. In fact, it is far beyond your expectations. December 2013. People under the Ross Sea in Antarctica. A giant creature with an animal was discovered. His appearance is like the sea in myths and legends. It's scary like a demon. After research, this was known to be a giant squid. It's called dowangic acid. This squid is so far the largest invertebrate on Earth. Its body length can reach up to 20 meters, with blue blood and huge eyes. There are sharp grooves on the tentacles, extremely lethal. Once you get entangled with him, you will basically die. It's pretty scary. Early plots circulating in the human world. The siren is very likely to be this potassium arenate oil. Okay, so the creatures in the water. Back to the interior of the Antarctic continent. Why is this place listed as a restricted area? The internet is all over the place about Antarctica. There are rumors of an alien base. Is it true or false? What are the secrets here? It's called the Antarctic Treaty, signed by many countries in 1959. Lost the Antarctic Treaty. It was originally signed by 12 countries. International agreement. The content inside probably says, no one wants to occupy this place in Antarctica. This place belongs to the whole world. No one can conduct nuclear tests on it without permission. The establishment of military bases and the exploitation of mineral resources. There's been a lot of bans around that. And the Antarctic ecosystem is very fragile. Due to this continent, isolated from the continent where humans live for hundreds of millions of years, a little bit of microbes, it may disrupt the local ecological balance. No entry. It is also a kind of protection for the natural environment of Antarctica. The other thing is that Antarctica is not completely off limits. On some small islands at the edge, tourists are also allowed to enter. As for the reason why the inland cannot be accessed, it's actually quite simple. The first is that it's very difficult. The environment in the hinterland is harsh. If you are not careful, it may get cold. So for the safety of tourists, it had to be banned. Of course, yeah, these calligraphy are all derived from official interpretations. For inland Nanjing, is there a legendary secret base? Or some other mysterious phenomenon? Only those who have actually entered Nanjing, people in the inland areas, will know. Well, that's it for this video. Leader who thinks it's very good, remember to give Black Rabbit a like. Thank you.